Hey everyone, welcome back to Attack on TCG. Fluff here, bringing you another deck profile for the Dragon Ball Super TCG card game. Today I've got my Hirudegarn Veggie deck. Sorry if you hear some dogs in the background, they're kind of running around everywhere. But I love this deck. It's kind of tricolor. It's got a few luck-based consistency issues. Generally it's a green engine with red and blue support. So if you don't get a lot of green cards in your opening hand, the deck is really slow to get on its feet. But if you can get the green cards that you need, the deck just explodes and just absolutely decimates in the first 2 or 3 turns. The leader, Hirudegarn, I love this leader. His front side is probably my favorite front side of any leader. When he attacks, you discard a card and draw 2 cards. When you're at 4 or less life, you get to retap 2 of your energy and then flip him over. His reverse side is when he attacks, you draw, and then your opponent picks 1 from their hand and puts it in the drop zone. This guy is absolutely amazing. Probably one of my favorite leaders and cards to come out of Colossal Warfare. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the meat of the deck, which is the green engine. I run 3 each of Newfound Power Son Gohan and 3 of the Trunks Bridge to the Future. The Gohans are my early game aggression. Trunks helps me search for specific pieces that I need. The Gohan lets me pick a card from life when he attacks. He gains 10,000 power and critical. Super hyper aggressive for turn 1. Trunks lets you pick up to 2. If you picked up from the top of your deck, find a Saiyan, add it to hand. If you chose to add a card in this way, you put 1 card of the 2 into the drop zone. But if you didn't see, you can choose to pick up 1 card. So if I pick up 1 card and say it's a Saiyan Teamwork Cabba, which I really needed, I can stop, don't have to pick up another, and his effect is done at that point. It's a really versatile card. I didn't feel the need to run 4 of either of these, so I kind of split the difference and ran 3 and 3. Then we've got the Veggie package. There's Saiyan Teamwork Cabba. When you play him, you look at the top 10 cards of your deck, pick 1 Kale or Caulifa. If it's a Caulifa, you can play it. Otherwise, add it to your hand. While he's on the field, the energy cost of all Kale and Caulifa are reduced by 1, including any green specified cost. So this is pretty amazing. With 2 Cabba on board, you're free playing Caulifas, you're paying Kales for 2 energy. It's just really amazing. This card is a rock star. Then we run 4 of the Unstoppable Ambition Super Saiyan Caulifa. She's pretty good in her own right. When she plays, you pick a card from your life, add it to your hand. So fast Self-Awakening, though this deck doesn't care about it as much. And then also Caulifa prevents you from losing your own battle cards due to your own skills, which is really important when working in tandem with the Kale. We do run 4 of the Hidden Awakening Kale here. Together, these guys all make the Veggie package. The Kale, when you play her, you choose 1 of your battle cards, KO it, then any number of your opponent's battle cards for which the total adds up to 5 or less, and KO them. If you have 5 or less cards in your hand, when she attacks, you draw a card. This Kale is absolutely amazing. She's got critical. She's just a beast of an aggressive card. I've been thinking about dropping her down to 3 in favor of 1 more of another card that we'll get to here in a moment. But just generally, 444 is the standard Veggie package for these 3. Then getting on to kind of the red stuff, which is all U6. We're running 4 of the bold Super Saiyan 2 Caulifa. She is our prime target when playing the Cabba. So you play the Cabba, look at the top 10. Hopefully there's one of these gals here. When you play her, you then look at the top 7 and grab a U6 with 15 or 100 less. We do run 2 targets. One is the absolute desired target. The other one is kind of a waste to grab with this effect, but it's got a pretty large rate of hit. I kind of want to add another Universe 6 to this deck somewhere, but I haven't quite figured out where I want the room to be. But she's absolutely amazing. She doesn't have anything else. She's 20,000. If I have to, late game, I can evolve my green Caulifas into her. But she's absolutely amazing. It wouldn't change anything about that. We then run 3 Dauntless Kales. She's a free play and she's got blocker when there's a Caulifa on the field. So you want these on board. This deck isn't super defensive itself. It doesn't run a ton of defensive extra cards, but this is absolutely amazing when looking at, you've pretty much always got a Caulifa on board, so she free plays, plus she's got blocker, which it's just amazing. I'd love to bring her to 4. I've just not figured out what I want to lose for it. Maybe one of the green Kales, but that remains to be seen at this point. Still testing there. Then we've got the target for the Bold Super Saiyan 2 Caulifa, and that's the Sister Attacks Saiyan Kale. When there's another U6 on board and she attacks, you draw 1 card, and her attack increases by 5,000. So she's swinging for 15 plus drawing you a card. She's just a good, aggressive, mid-turn card. If I've got 2 red energy, I can just play her. If I've got a Cabba on board, I can play her for 1 red energy. It's just pretty amazing in this deck. Kind of moving out of the U6 stuff and more of the support stuff, I am running 3 Furthering Destruction Champa just for that additional aggression if I've got a Caulifa on board or if I've got a Kale on board and I want it to do double strike for game. This does great at that. I'm considering on dropping these. What do you guys think? The more I play in this format, the less I like this card, but it's still incredibly valuable. The combo for 10,000 plus double strike is just aggressive. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. But I couldn't rationalize playing 4, and I'm thinking about losing it altogether. Suggestions? Comment below. Next we run, because our leader is blue, we can run Unyielding Spirit Trunks. I've had games where I've had 2 of these in hand, combo with them, and able to drop 2 Cabba a turn, which is just absolutely amazing. It's super aggressive. It's hard for your opponents to keep up with it. Combo 5,000's also not absolutely terrible either, plus retapping an energy. Just, you can't get any better. This guy's staple for blue stuff. Then we run the super combo Hoi, which, in my opinion, next to the God super combo out of the expansion box, this is probably the best super combo in the game. 4 or less, gains 10,000, discard a card, draw 2 cards. Every color needs 1 of these. So if this is what super combos become, I know we've seen a few out of Miraculous Revival that look pretty interesting themselves, but I would be completely okay if super combos switch to this. It's absolutely my favorite. Then we've got 2 Scientist Foos for our Overrealm. I opted to do this. Fu is super aggressive. It's more draw. I opted this over Banisher or the Mira just because I think Boo is probably the most solid of Fu is the most solid of the Overrealms. Second to the Banisher Fu that came out in Colossal Warfare. But just love him, standard, nothing special there. Getting into our extra cards, I run 4 Sensu Beans. The more I test this deck, the more I feel like the deck doesn't need Sensu Bean. And with Hirudegarn hopefully on the way out the door with Flute going to 1 this week, I'm really hoping that this isn't as staple as it is. It's a perfectly wonderful card, and I love it. It functions in most decks. But this one where you want to charge 2 green energy, then 1 red energy, then 1 blue energy, you're looking at between turn 3 and 4 before you can even play them and take advantage of them. I just don't know that it needs to be here. Another one that I'm gonna build the deck without the Sensu Beans and without the Cabbas and see what I can come up with and revisit it at some point. Then we've got 4 full power energy. These are just amazing. They're fantastic against Bardock. They're fantastic against the 1-drop Gohan and Trunks. They're fantastic against the Goku for the Vegito setup. They're good against early Buu setups. They're good against a lot of little things that need that 1 energy card out to search, or might become a combo piece, or might be a blocker later on. Legacy early turns can lose to this. It just shuts them down. But guys, that's really the entirety of my deck profile. Like I said, I've got a couple ideas for this one. I just haven't been able to test it as much. I've been stuck on mono blue control, but every once in a while I revisit Veggies. I see what it can do to maintain its relevancy with the format. I'm hoping there's a couple things in Tournament of Power and Miraculous Survival that'll give it a little bit of oomph. Though I'm deeply concerned about this deck's stability with the new Kami coming out. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out at the DBS TCG site. And if you like what you saw here, give that little bell a ring, subscribe, leave a comment below. We love you guys. We love responding to comments and interacting with you if you have anything to say. And as always, George Clinton, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the show. Bye-bye.